Thank you for watching here on wherever I put you, wherever you land, at Blooming Light, Narc Detective, Narc Killer, whatever and wherever I end up placing you. Appreciate you. Thank you for watching. If you're a decent being in the universe, I hope you're doing well. And if you're not doing well, I hope that you are well on your way to being well. It is a happy day. Oh, happy day. And don't worry, I'm not going to sing the song. I'm not going to sing my little old happy day jingle, okay? We're going to get into the title. It says, remember, they said or say your ... And we'll get into that in a moment. But if y'all coming in a good energy, I appreciate all legit viewers here. Coming from a good space in your heart, go ahead and tap on the screen. To the passerbyers, no harm, no foul, right? No sweat off my, no, I'm just kidding. Off of my ass here, okay? It's all good. It's all good. But I'm gonna try to give a little bit of moment before I get into the discussion here, okay? So instead of me singing as I'm waiting for the legit mofos, instead of me singing my typical song, I'm gonna sing another one, okay? Because I always sing the one and everybody's like, oh, okay, she's singing that, you know, here she is. So I'm gonna sing something different, okay? All right. And this is my creative, artsy, no different than everything else we see in social media and in entertainment and poetry and the spoken word and all of that. And so I'm going to go there, okay, as I wait. Let me clear my throat. Gotta clear my throat. All right. No, I'm just kidding. They are full of shit. Who are they? Y'all know who they are. They are full of shit. Who? They are full of shit. Yes, they are. They are full of shit. Oh, 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 why are they full of shit, you say? Oh, wait for it. Ooh, yes. Yes, they are. They pretend to be decent niggas and bitches. Yes, they do. With hidden dishonor too. They pretend to be so legal and upstanding. But in true reality, if you were a fly on the wall, when they least expected, you would find the truth about them too. They are full of shit. Oh, they pretend to be so upstanding with so much integrity that they wouldn't do anything wrong, to nobody, but they wake up every day to see what fuckery they can play. So that's why I say they're full of shit. And so they go to church with you. And so they go to Reiki. That don't mean shit. They are full of shit. Ego runs them. If it means they'll benefit, they don't care who they have to step on and hurt to get, and then go and donate to Make-A-Wish Foundation to soothe the guilt itch, because they are a toxic witch. Them and their people are toxic witches. Them and their people are toxic witches. And I'm speaking of men too, by the way. They are a cult. If you don't know what that is, do your research. It's called reads. Every so often read. Pick up a book, pick up the phone, pick up something, type in a search engine box and put some shit in it. Outside of bullshit, they are full of shit. Sexual chocolate. All right, so now we're going to go ahead and get into what the actual discussion is about. I said the title goes, remember, they said or say you're ... And this is dedicated to the beautiful survivors of narcissistic abuse, okay? Those of you who, you know, you've been on the receiving end of people stalking you, people bullying you, doing all sorts of things, okay? And they say, bear with me. Sorry about that. So as a survivor, as you all know, those of you who have sincerely followed me long enough, you know that I'm a survivor of narcissistic abuse, as is my son. Okay, of various different types. We're not going to go too deep into all of that. Now, you know that you have been accused, especially if you're an empathic type. I invite you all to do your studies on narcissism and listen to some of the professionals in the field, and just do your own research. And that way you're going to pull your own opinion and understanding without just being stuffed a bunch of shit by people with an agenda, okay, down your throat. Now, they say or said, okay, that you're sensitive, that you're just sensitive, that you're just emotional, that you're just dramatic. These are all the classic statements that are said, which is all invalidating, and it is forms of abuse to those who have really been victimized and have really survived some things. The ignorant typically say that. People who are callous themselves, possibly narc themselves, okay? And also folks who haven't gone through much of shit themselves have a tendency to throw those words out there. You're just sensitive. You're just emotional. You're just dramatic. You're putting too much on it. These are all the terms you have possibly been told all your whole life, and the things that people have said behind your back, and the things that people are even saying now. So what I want you to remember is this. Now that some of these people, and hear me, some of them are getting what they deserve. Okay? They are. Some of them, as I speak, are or will be soon receiving what they deserve for all of the abuse and all of the bullshit that they have done and caused many people. Now, I want you all to remember, as they go around to everybody, tell these people that they are dramatic. Tell these same people, okay? That they're just being dramatic, that they're just being emotional, that they're just being extra, that they're just being too sensitive. And you know why I'm asking the world and the universe to approach this way? Because you're about to meet and find out in these situations how quickly this turns. If you were to approach these people with that same kind of response, they will feel insulted. They may attack you. They may play the role of victim. They may start giving you explanations about how it's an exception to the rule. And this is something that needs to be highlighted to the world, especially to the extended friends and family members or the circle of people. That needs to come up to the forefront, because these are the same groups of people that was advocating as if the collective was just someone who was just edgy, someone who was just stressed, someone who was just sensitive, hormonal, all of that. So give these people that same energy, because what's fascinating about toxic types is, again, they only feel this way as it pertains to, their target or things that have nothing to do with them. But the moment they themselves are victimized in any kind of way, if they feel that they have been victimized, if they feel like they've been targeted, if they feel like they've been mistreated, if they feel like there's been some kind of crazy injustice, they're the first ones to go verbal about it. They're the first ones to raise sand. These are the cyber stalkers. These are the ones that are always looking for a reason to push the button. Because the moment they feel like they're offended, the moment they feel like something is toxic or hurtful or harmful to them or their people, they're the first ones to want to create a problem because of it. They're the first ones who want to voice, the first ones who want to go to whatever measure that they can. So why is it that, this is to provoke people into thinking. So why is it that when the target is voicing all of those things that they're experiencing and going through, so why is it that they then are looked at as extra drama, extra sensitive, emotional? This is something told the empath and the scapegoats forever. Now, as some of these toxic energies and these narcs start to go through some of the things that they can't bully their way out of, that they can't no longer, because this is how they've lived for so long, that they're not going to be able to bully their way out of, that they're not going to be able to bribe their way out of, blackmail their way out of, or spell cast their way out of, or smooth talk their way out of. As some of these people start to experience some of the things they should have been experienced. Things that they feel are out of pocket, right? Things that they feel are hurtful to them and their children. Because see, to you and your children is not a factor, but them and theirs is of utmost importance. So when they start to experience this and how they're going to go about talking, they're going to be calling people, they're going to be texting people. I guarantee you, they're going to be making posts on social media talking about, oh, hell, I'm saying, all of that. Tell these people, I'm going to create a short myself. Regurgitate the energy. This is a part of mirroring. Okay. And if you're coming from the right space in your heart, this is not a tit for tat. This is in the name of reflection, something that they are not capable of doing or refuse to do. We have to take on the approach of treating these types the same way we do children in some respect. When our children are of a certain age, logic and intellectual conversation and dialogue is not something that's going to sit well. It's not something that's going to produce any kind of a healthy result, because they are a child. They're going to stare at you and they're going to essentially say whatever they need to say just to get you to the agreement of whatever the fuck it is they want you to agree. Okay, but they're not going to understand. They're not going to be able to apply. Likewise, with these toxic types of personalities and people who feel, that their victims should just be victims quietly, right? And graciously, and, put your head between your tail, right? And just go away and lay down and take it. These are the people who can't lay down and take it. These are the people who can't take the injustices or the unfairnesses that they have instigated, provoked, caused, and in most cases on purpose. So like how we do with our children, we will meet them where they're at and, the language that our children understand. And we do it by way of what we know, right? And so they're not going to understand that deep, in-depth, philosophical shit. So you're going to meet them. Okay, what gets their attention is physical things. This is the only way they're able to understand 1 + 1. And though chances are if they're really depraved or they're really far gone, they're still not going to heal or change and grow. With the children, you're hoping that helps them, right? With these types, it's up to them and where they're at in life, and if they're working with higher energy and frequency to help them become self-reflective people in order to change, and embrace the ego death, if you will, or the ego no longer having front seat. Okay? Working on their traumas and all of those things. And so it's just really about just reflecting it back, whether they like it or not, whether they learn and grow or not, but just so they can connect the dots like, okay, somebody that's close enough to them need to say, remember how you said this person was just extra and they were emotional and they were hormonal and they were just dramatic and they were just all too sensitive. So are you not those things in this moment? And just see how they respond to you. They're going to darvo, they're going to talk in circles, and this is where you onlooker are going to find out who they are. That's where you're going to find it out. They don't understand the statement that my grandmother used to say many years ago. Many years ago before she passed away. Which is, what's good for the goose is good for the gander. Okay? And that old saying, that old saying is essentially, listen, you're not special. Sorry if the world convinced you otherwise. You're not an exception to the rules. Sorry if the world convinced you otherwise. Sorry if your life experience has created such a dark illusion to convince you that you and yours can create whatever you want and instigate whatever you want to negatively impact people's lives and victimize them for sport, for boredom, selfishness, ignorance, whatever. But you and yours, right, are not to experience such things. I am sorry if that is what's been reinforced. It's a disservice, shame on whatever village, whatever population, whatever groups, whatever leaders. Shame on them for reinforcing that, because that's what's producing this population of monsters as we know it now. Insensitive people who are only sensitive as it pertains to them and theirs. Okay? They want that sensitivity for them and theirs, but they do not extend it. They only extend it to their inner circle. Okay? And then I'm going to close with this. There was a young lady that created a video here, and she made a very important statement. She was talking about how somebody was changing or that they changed, or that they're going around in life as a different person, no longer toxic, no longer abusive, seemingly, and treating all these people so beautifully well and loving and kind and, seemingly to be a different person. And she said this. She said, that's fine and dandy. She said, but all I remember, my memories of you, is how mean and cruel you were, and having never made anything right with me. So to her, she's not impressed, and she doesn't care about how this person so-called seemed to be treating all these other people so well. Because again, at the end of the day, it's still an insult. It's still a spit. Okay? Because it ain't just the past. It's the fact that all these people who claim to be so reformed, so new, so different, so evolved, so better, so learned, then what has stopped them from making atonement with the people that they were cruel to? The fact that people don't make atonement to those who they were cruel to, who are still here, because of course there are situations in which it's just not possible. It's not fucking possible. But having made sincere, proper atonement, that might be an indication that, yeah, no, they're still toxic as fuck. And they're toxic as fuck to the target, as they always have been. This is why there's been no atonement. But just because they can go about being extra loving and kind to everybody else, we need to pay attention to that kind of stuff too. And for the onlookers, that's so quick to say that the survivors of people's toxic, abusive ways are extra. Most of these survivors have not been given any kind of sincere vindication from those people, atonement, restitution, or anything. And some of these victims are still being assaulted. So they're not being drama. Okay, so get educated. If you're going to speak, if you're going to voice, if you're going to have an opinion, get educated beyond the four corners of the earth in which you've come from. Get some depth about human behavior and the psychoses of different types of, things, trauma, and all of those things before slapping on these generalizations, adding insult to injury for people who have legit survived being victimized and people who are still currently being targeted, by these types of energies. Just because you haven't experienced it does not mean it's not a thing. It does not mean it doesn't happen. Just because you see these same individuals kissing asses of others and going above and beyond to help and be sweet and kind, some of that's some guilt shit as well. And some of that is the sociopathy, these people's addictions to needing to look like they're decent people so that no one will believe they have it in them to be cruel. Okay? So get yourself some education. And then, start playing with things a little bit. Do your own little research and investigations, okay? When these people start going through shit they don't like and that they feel that's unfair and unjust, watch how they talk. Watch what they do, okay? And then throw that out there to them. You're being extra, okay? And see what kind of response. And that'll let you know what you need to know.